So before the session, I was doing a little bit of work on the S&P, and I could see that it's meeting a support and resistance level on the daily. There we go. Now the daily is heading down, which comes as no surprise because we were talking about it on Thursday, and I mentioned this being the support and resistance of the top formation, and if it breaks above the pink line, then we're heading into higher high territory, which we didn't do. We didn't break above this. So now we are coming down to backtest a couple of support and resistance levels. Now we are gonna have a couple of them. You know that the S&P has a little bit more of a regular flow to it than the crypto market. So you can see these levels being nicely laid out. They're very how can I say, almost proportional, very symmetrical. That's the word that I was trying to find. So these are the levels, and at the moment the daily is heading down, but the 4-hour is floored in the stochastic, which is the more immediate momentum. I find these days that the stochastic is the one managing the swings, and the general direction is, while the general direction is held by the regular RSI. So by the looks of this, we're gonna have a swing down on the 4-hour, and then we might have a little bit of a retrace, a little bit of a retest, and then head down some more. The reason why I'm saying this is I believe crypto will be doing more or less the same thing. We are right now on Ethereum, and I've changed to Ethereum because I'm gonna start with Ethereum. It's looking very level, so it's easier to talk about Ethereum at the moment than Bitcoin. So Ethereum has come down to test this the 1500. It hasn't quite reached it, so it's come pretty close to it, but it's for the past 3 days it's held it. So that means there might be a slight retrace up to the 20 on the daily, and then coming back down to maybe 39, sorry, I don't know where that came from, 13.7 or 1390. So back to test this this green line, and this green line you will see is the next level in this descending formation. Now I don't believe this descending formation is complete. So we have one swing here, one swing here, one swing here. Technically we have 2 touches to the bottom and 2 touches to the top. So I believe we need one more touch to the bottom and then another touch to the top, which would coincide with the 3 levels down. So I don't believe Ethereum has had its 3 levels down. And this could be quite relevant in the coming months, not necessarily days, but in the coming months we might see a drop down to let's say 870. So I would use this retrace, this final retrace, as we are playing in this space between this green line and this white line in this triangle. I would use this retrace up to the white line, maybe to take a little bit of profit from the longs or from the hodl, and then see what's gonna happen. If it is gonna hold as support, if it is turned back into support, that would be a great idea, a great thing to happen. But if it's not, that means we're coming down another level. And for Ethereum, generally another level down means back to base and then another step down. As it happened here, it went up, then it came back to base and another leg down. Here it went up, it came back to base and then another leg down. Here it's going up and then back to base, and then another leg down. What happened here was particularly dramatic because Ethereum had already dropped. It had already had its sort of like base here on I can't, for some reason I can't change this line, it's view only, but this level here, the 1700, was being held and it was great, but then it came down as the whole market started coming down. So it's not looking it's not looking great if the 20 EMA is not turned back into support. So I wouldn't necessarily set sell orders, but I would watch it very carefully in the coming days to see what happens on the 20 EMA on the daily. The reason why I'm saying we might see a retrace is because the 4-hour structure is also supporting what I'm seeing in the daily. Just give me a second to set my my Bybit on my phone, as I see the things are moving, and I don't want to miss if there are any particular moves. We have this wedge that the main consolidation and the lift happened between. So this wedge has broken out and it hasn't yet met its target. Rarely have I seen in my almost 2 years of trading, no, it doesn't sound like much, but I have seen a lot of patterns and a lot of 4-hour patterns. And what happens is not only do they meet their target, but they also create momentum. So I'm not only expecting the 1400 target to be met, I'm expecting it to be broken to the downside. Not at the moment, because at the moment I believe that the regular RSI on the 4-hour is lifting. The stochastic shows that it's done its lift up, and now I believe it has crossed down. No, it's still up. So the stochastic still wants to go a little bit up, which is what I am here. I can draw a little bit of what I mean. So I believe that this might come up to test the 55, maybe even break it upwards and then come down to meet the level. This is what I believe will happen, and that will give us one level here, the second level here, and then the third level here of a drop on the 4-hour. And then we'll see what Ethereum wants to do when it gets to that level, because again, I don't have a crystal ball. I would tell you when it gets to that level. Here it is, the 15, and then here on this green line, the 14, 1370. Again, between 14 and 1370, 1350 is a psychological level, a very strong psychological and historical level for Ethereum. So around this top green line, if this green line holds, it might give us a nice lift and a lift up, and that would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 up. Great, happy days to a local higher high. Or if this level, if the 1400 doesn't hold, then we are looking into deeper retracement coming down. I would be taking this whole thing as a cup formation, and then I would be putting the target down, and it would probably take me somewhere around here or here to a double bottom. But that is the kind of structure that I would be looking at once I have a clear structure for reversal to the downside. At the moment, what we're looking at is a little bit of a breather in terms of DMAs and a little bit of a breather in terms of the RSIs. I think that the RSI on the 4-hour needs to go a little bit higher, maybe meet the midline, and then at the midline it might get rejected and do another leg down. Or again, continue upwards. If we turn the 55 back into support, which is 55 here is 1714, the 20 on the daily is 1719. So yes, if we turn the 55 on the 4-hour and the 20 EMA on the daily into support, then we're looking at lifting up. But at the moment, the way things are, the trend is down. So we are below the 20 on the daily, so the trend is down. We are only looking at a retest of the 20 on the daily so that it pushes down a little bit more. The way it happened here, so it came down back, well, actually here and here. Here it backtested not only the 20 but the 55, but here it backtested the 20, dropped, backtested the 20, dropped, backtested the 20, dropped, backtested the 20, and the 55 dropped to a double bottom, a lift, and then backtest between the 20 and the 55. A lot of sideways here for about 10 days, very small range, nothing to write home about. So that's where the 4 hour is. In short, I expect a nice retrace and then another leg for the drop. The 1 hour that we're gonna do our weekly planning on is holding in a very nice way. Last night I anticipated a double bottom structure here. It came pretty close to that. I take that as a good enough projection. Now, the 1 hour stochastic and the 1 hour regular RSI need a little bit of juice there at the top. They are both heading up at the moment, so that means we can still see a retest here of the 16, the previous level at 1664. And even here, the next level would be 1755. It's honestly higher than the 20 on the daily. I don't believe we'll get there straight away. There might be a multi-day lift between tomorrow and Wednesday. But what we need to see at the moment on the 1 hour in terms of structure is holding the 1 hour 20 EMA. So that's if we are to hold this, which hasn't happened in a long time, so all of this swing, that's all we needed. Here it was a bit of a fake out and then it broke down. So this long would be probably the easiest trade to make, in my opinion, as a trader, because if it holds the 20 EMA on the hour, I would enter along and then I would put the stop loss below the previous low, or to be even tighter and consider what happened here, below the 20 EMA and the VWAP, because it's been testing both of them for a long time. There's no need to break them and then come back to them. There's no need for that to happen. It's been doing this all this while. In my opinion, Ethereum has done its 3 steps down at the moment, and that would coincide with 2 things. The first one, it would coincide with catching a breather on the 4 hour, and then it would coincide with a breakout from the 15-minute arc, which I'm looking at. It's formed a nicely laid out divergence line. So for you guys to see what I mean, this is it. And as we speak, we are breaking that divergence line. We broke it once, came back into the arc, and now we're breaking it. I left the line of the arc like so to see this breakout, and this breakout would have a target of 1725 technically. But again, it will be a multi-day trade rather than a trade for tonight's session, unless Asia decides to go cuckoo and just pump it there and take out a lot of short liquidations, because they have been collecting a lot of shorts in this area. So to summarize what I'm saying is, to me the first trade would be holding entering when we're holding the 20 on the 1 hour. That would be the safer confirmation. And just let me color code. I will color code it. I'll set it as pink. There we go. And then my target would be to the first support and resistance level somewhere around here. I know it's not a huge trade. It's a very modest 3.5, but it is within the range, and If you want to leave a little bit of something here, go ahead and do so. It's been doing a lot of range movement over the weekend. I am actually going to move these lines to suit the current ranges. I'm going to put this target. Right about here, a little bit below it. So I am going to adjust them to suit where our wicks are at the moment, because I want to keep them more relevant to where they are right now. So that would be the first trade, and then I will be looking to see what happens here. Probably there will be, given what I've seen, given what I've seen in the stochastic and the RSI, it might do something along these lines, coming back down and then coming back up and maybe consolidating here, going up to 17. I'm gonna move this a little bit lower as well to suit our, there we go, our daily targets better. So this would be the upwards trajectory. I'd see it maybe down to here. This would be the next target. So depending on what happens here, if we hold support here nicely along this line, that means we're going up to the next level, which would be the breakout from the 15-minute arc, the 3 level up from the 15-minute arc, which would, again, it would be perfectly reasonable. Okay, I'll put it here, clone, and I'll put it here. There we go. So these would be my two levels up. Then of course we have the 2 levels down. I expect this to hit the 55 on the 1 hour, get rejected there, and then head down. In which case I would be putting a target somewhere around there. Clone, then next to the 15, and then my next target would be the 4 hour. My next target would be the 4 hour 1400 level, which is what I believe this would take me to. So this consolidation would take me to, ta-da, 1400. It's like magic. There we go. And I'll put a path. Here, and then come down, and then maybe do a little bit of consolidation here, and then come down. And here we have again the Christmas tree formation, the Christmas tree options. Here they are, and these are the way, the 2 pathways I see price action going through levels for the next coming days. Of course, I'll see you in the morning, and I'll keep you up to date with the direction. I am favoring at the moment. A lift towards the 20 on the daily, because we've been keeping a solid consolidation level. We have a double bottom structure on the 1 hour at the moment, and if we manage to hold the 20 on the 1 hour, it is looking super. So it's looking great if we're managing to hold the 20 on the 1 hour for the up. I am in a long at the moment on XRP and Bitcoin, and I expect this structure to hold. Of course, I have stop losses in, because at the moment we are in the last stages of this arc. Which I believe is the 4 hour arc, or I think I'm getting very confused as to the timelines. But what I want to show you is how tight the space is getting, and we are getting into the third third of the pattern, and getting into the third of the pattern is where games are start being played. So we'll see where that takes us. Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna take it back because this is the 1 hour. I know this is the 1 hour, and I know this needs a mountain peak, which would coincide. The 4 hour one is the one that is the devil's playground here, because we've had mountain peak, we've had there we go. We've had the third drop, and now we are getting close to the final how can I say it? Final peak, the apex. We're getting close to the apex of this arc. I still believe we're going to meet the target first, and then do a little bit more sideways. We'll see where we are. We'll see where we are. And at the moment, I'm trading using the ranges just to be on the safe side, and using stop losses. And I'm happy to take 30% a day. Anywhere between 25 and 40% a day from 2 trades is a really nice gain. Even from 1 trade, if you're trading 1 coin, it's still a good profit on the day. Now, any questions about Ethereum? Michael, are you in any trades in Ethereum? I can't hear you if you're talking for some reason. Okay, you can, if you hear me, and if you are in trades, just you can just let me know on the chats if you have any questions. I'll still be watching for the coming hours to see how the 1 hour holds, so I'll be online. Now, for Bitcoin, we are in quite a similar situation, because we have been the drop met its technical target to a T. I was showing you that in this afternoon's session. And I believe we're gonna be playing out this part of the structure. So I'm gonna remove this, because you've seen how I used it as a target. I didn't trade that, which I'm bummed about, but you know, it is what it is. I thought it was going to go up for another retest, but it didn't. It just came down, and thank goodness the stop losses saved me from a very painful liquidation if that had happened. Now, I believe that this channel will be spilling down. That's what I anticipate, and I believe, and that's what I'm planning to trade. Not this week. I'm planning. Yes. No, still can't hear Michael. So I'm planning to trade this in the coming weeks. At the moment, I anticipate this space here will be playing out the way I said it to you on for Ethereum. A retrace up to this level and the 20 EMA on the daily, and then heading back down for the target of this, which would be a double bottom target. Now the daily needs to catch a little bit of a breather, and that's what I'm expecting. A bit like what happened. I'll show you in the previous RSI pattern, the previous stochastic RSI pattern. Here, the daily caught a little bit of a breather and then came crashing down for a drop. So it came from this peak, from the top, came to the bottom here, which is where I believe we are. Then it crossed up. It did a little bit of movement here between these trend lines. It spent quite a lot of time there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, almost 3 weeks there, and then started pushing down. I don't believe we have so much left here, but you know, it might expand the range as well. So that we might see that happen. So we'll see when it happens, how it happens. But I'm in the longer term, like 3-4 weeks from now, I am for another drop to the downside. In the shorter term, this week I am for a lift up to the 20 and then seeing what happens there. Probably gonna short from there, unless it starts spending time there. If it's there for 2-3 days, then again the trend changes and the market sentiment changes, as you can see here. So it breaks it, it confirms it, it stays above it, market sentiment pushes up. It backtests it, then stays above it, stays above it, stays above it, 4 days above it, market sentiment changes and continues to move up. Now with Bitcoin on the shorter time frame, we are in I'm not going to show you the MAs, because the MAs after 3 days of sideways, the MAs are a little bit like intestines. I call them like spaghetti. We have spaghetti MAs, so they're not hugely reliable. That's why I'm looking at the longer time frames. I am looking at the longer time frames for direction, and then I am looking at the shorter time frames to get my signals. I would be taking signals on the 15-minute when the 20 EMA or the 20 MA hold on the 15-minute. Either whatever indicator you choose, as long as you choose it consistently, is a valid strategy. So I am taking my signals from the 15-minute, but I'm watching for continuation of the trend on the 1 hour, because that's going to give me an idea of how this is going to go. So on the 1 hour, sorry, not on the 1 hour, on the 15-minute arc, we've seen the major moves. We've seen the 3 steps down, in my opinion. We've seen mountain peak, a low mountain peak. We've seen the third drop, we've seen final peak, final bounce, final retrace. And now we are, just like Ethereum, preparing to break this divergence line. And I say preparing because we might not break it. We are holding long-term levels though, just like Ethereum. Again, they are very similar in their actions, not similar in their levels, because Ethereum is a couple of levels higher than Bitcoin because it's done a bigger lift, but Bitcoin is holding nice levels. So and also Bitcoin's arcs look a little bit different. So at the moment we've seen a drop. So we've seen 2 levels down. I believe we need another level here. For that level to happen, we need a little bit of a lift here towards the 55 EMA, and then a drop down. And I say towards the 55 EMA because this is where generally it backtests and it comes down. So backtests, comes down, backtests, comes down. So there are it rarely breaks down without a backtest of the 55 EMA on the 4 hour, which would be the 20 EMA on the daily. So that would be the backtest that I like to see. Now, having said that, let's do a little bit of planning of our levels of trading for this week. And again, the first level that I would be trading would be a long up to the 55 on the daily, on the 4 hour, sorry. I'll just remove these so that we have a bit more space. I'll move the price here. And I'll change to the 1 hour so that you see what I mean when I'm talking about levels. So at the moment we're holding the 20 on the 15, I believe. Yeah, we just got above it. We are trying to turn it into support. And we are looking to go from, let's say here, holding the 20 on the hour, because that would be the best confirmation for you to go in on. And then going up to here. And again, it might be a modest trade in percentages. It's actually better than Ethereum's, it's 4.3. The reason why I'm saying this is going to go up because there's been a bullish divergence on the RSI on the hour. So you see how much levels were almost the same. They do go up slightly, but nothing compared to how the RSI behaved. And there's been a the divergence started here between these two. So these two came down and these two went up, and it continued. You can see higher lows in the RSI as well, not just in the in price action. So here's the first trade that I would make, and then I would check to see when it gets to, I'll change to the 4 hour to see the level. Yes, so when it gets to the 55 on the 4 hour, if it holds it, it might come up and test the neckline of the peak formation, just to make sure, you know, it's collecting as much liquidity as it can, because again, a lot of people would have this as a stop loss, you know, don't go back above the neckline, so it might just spike up here and then come crashing down, but that would be very dramatic. I honestly anticipate only one lift up and then a push down. So I will mark this trade. No, trying to copy. Okay, I'll put paste. No, there we go. Okay, so I'll mark this trade here, but it won't be again, unless some consolidation happens here. I don't see it lifting up so quickly. I'll let again, if the market makers want to make this a proper stop hunt, they will do so. But the reason why I'm a little bit reticent to this long is because, again, we are technically below the 20 EMA on the day, so we are in a downtrend. Just a second, I need to get some tea. Now, so I only see the first level of this lift being completed over the coming days, tomorrow, and I expected it today, to be honest, but the sideways continue, the accumulation continues. So tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, we might see this this lift. After this lift, depending on what happens here on the 4 hour 55, we might see a drop down to I think this would be, yeah, this would be a conservative level here. And I say conservative because I have placed this this bottom line diagonally. I could also place it horizontally here. So I'm taking a little bit from the bottom target. So a retest of the 50 and then coming back down here would be the next. Now, if we, just like Ethereum, if we break this line, which I don't anticipate will happen very fast, like I don't believe this week we've already seen a 14% move. There we go, 13, a 14% move. I don't anticipate we're gonna see another one towards the end of the week of the same magnitude. So, but if we do, again, I would keep a nice tight a sell order for this, because this might be the breakout from the daily channel, which would take us down to 17,000, which is, I know it looks a little bit like an optical illusion because of the angle of this, but it would be a nice double bottom. So this could be the breakout. Maybe not for this week, maybe for the week to come, but it's definitely something that I have in mind if we break this bottom line, which is the line of this daily channel. So again, I've seen these channels break, and there's a back test, and then there's coming down all the way down. Now I know sometimes there might be a little bit of a sideways around their bottom line, like it happened here, but it's a nice trade to follow down, to be honest. So these are the levels. These are the levels that I anticipate Bitcoin to move between, and Ethereum. And you've seen me use the 20 EMA and 55 EMA for reference. I am using them these days because the consolidation, the range that it's been moving in, has been really small. Not very great in terms of the swings. It's 3.4. You leave a little bit on the table, 30%, and you're making 20% trades. So that's what's offered these days in this sideways movement. As soon as we break out of this, we might be moving a little bit more because we're tapping into the bigger space of the levels. Speaking of the levels, so this was the weekly trade setup, and I expected this to be a short conversation, and I expected